Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. On the 5th video out of the 20-part series of Powershell for sysadmins. Awesome. Teaches the basics, I think up until about 8 or 9. We're going to be teaching the basics, then we'll get into the fun stuff. So as of this, number 5 is error handling. So basic, the big bolded, it says, you've seen how to use variables and control flow structures to write flexible code that you can respond to imperfections of the real world. Servers that aren't up when they should be and files that are in the wrong place. And like some of these you should know and expect to handle accordingly. So it basically just shows error handling is like really, I'd say undervalued, especially by like people like me that don't know like really good code, like a programmer that actually understands how to write it. Because I know how to get like a simple objective, but like the error handling is huge, especially being able to actually like you're tracking all the problems that could happen in your code and you're able to deal with all that. So really cool. We'll start off. So it goes get service, and then in here it goes bits foo LAN man server. And it even says in here, it says you cannot find the service, handling and non-terminating errors. So it says, of course there is no foo service, the PowerShell tells you as such, but notice the PowerShell gets status for the other services. It doesn't stop executing when it runs into the error. The non-terminating error can be converted to a terminating error to prevent execution of the rest of the code. Interesting. And then it goes in, it's important to understand that the decision to turn the exception into a non-terminating error or terminating error is made by the developer. Often, as listed in 5-TAC1, which is the one that we just did, this decision can be made for you to whoever wrote the command that you're using. In many cases, if this command then encounters the exception, it will return a non-terminating error, write the error output on the console, and allow your script to continue executing. In this next section, you'll see a few ways to turn a non-terminating error into a terminating error. So the great thing about this, especially if you want your end users not to be able to like maneuver around your environment like a hacker would, that's why you do the differences between what you're doing. Obviously, if you want everything to run, Windows and programming, a lot of it make it so it just keeps on running because they don't expect everyone to write the best of code. So like imagine if you got this and you're not able to troubleshoot, but you're able to get the other things, at least you're able to see what bits and LAN man server do. You can see if they're running or not. So it's just kind of like bumping it down to making it as simple as possible for like programmers, because not every single person's the brightest, and something like this makes it a lot easier. So it says next one is handling non-terminating errors. So all right, so inside here we're gonna go boom 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 like that. Folder path equals, wow, did a lot of boom, bogus folder is what they wanted to label it as. $sign files, and then get child item, and then we're going to specify the path, and then folder path, which is the bogus folder. So in there, we're going to write host this shouldn't run, period. And then after this, files for each, so just like we're bringing it back, curly brackets, parentheses, curly brackets, file text equals get content files. On the same line, we're not going to indent it. File text, grabbing 0, which is the first one. So this, they named it, boom, boom, running it. This shouldn't run. Weird how that runs and it shouldn't run. So keep on going to the next page, page 64. We have continue, ignore, inquire, silently continue, and stop. So those are all the different values that we have. So when it comes to this parameter has 5 main options for non-terminating. So handling terminating errors. So terminating errors. Okay, so we're gonna go try curly brackets initial code, and then inside of here catch code that runs if terminating error found. And then finally, this is wrote differently in all different languages, but in PowerShell it says code that runs at the end. Alright. So that was an example. Let's do this. Example. And then we're gonna do more code. It's gonna do $folder path. Actually, it seems like a lot of it's gonna be built off of this. So I'm just gonna go like this, make my life easier. So we're gonna go like this, and then inside of this, I'm gonna put it like that. Try. Delete that. Boom. Like that. So then we have files, get child folder path, and then the only thing we're adding is the error. Action is stop, capital S. Stop, and then boom. And we're going to indent this. Nope, we're actually not going to indent that. And then with that, let me see. So for each, alright, we're not going to put that in the for each, it's actually going to fall after it. So boom, boom. My bad. Did make that look a little sloppier. And then we're going to put catch in there. That's where we're going to do $__exception. And then message. So this is where that error action is going to be created. So in here, now that we've changed it, cannot find file path, bogus folder, because it does not exist. So it's showing you exactly, this is native. A lot of underscores you'll see in programming, it means native. And exception message. So just like that. And then what it says, when a terminating error is caught in the catch block, the error object is stored in $_ variable. In this example, you can see the $_ exception.message returns just the exception message. In this case, the code shouldn't run something like cannot find path. C : obviously mine's a little bit different because I'm not in C, but yep, C : /bogus folder, because it does not exist. Error objects that contain other information, including the type of exception that was thrown or stack trace, can shows the exception history of the code and occurs before the exception was thrown, and more. However, for now, the most useful piece of information for you is the message property, and it typically contains the basic information you need in order to see what happens in your code. So, bum, bum, bum. Alright, so that's a lot of that. And then it says exploring the $error automatic variable. So we'll do one little section on this. This is the last page. So what it has is CLS to clear this. So we'll get item path, and then not found.txt. So it says because it does not exist. What does error do? Says it does not exist. So, what it says throughout the chapter you force PowerShell to return a lot of errors, terminating and non-terminating each of these stored in PowerShell automatic variables called error. The $error variable is a built-in variable that stores an array to all errors returned in the current PowerShell session ordered by the time they appear to terminate the error variable. Let's go to the console and run a command that that will return the non-terminate errors in 5tech5, which is exactly what I just wrote. It says, unless you're working on a brand new session, chances you see a long list of errors, and to access a specific one, you can use index notation just as you would to any other array. The errors in $error are added to the front of the array, so $error 0 is the most recent and 1 is the second most recent, and so forth. Cool. So that's the end of chapter 5. So we will then continue soon on chapter 6 next week, and that will be writing functions. So hope you like it. Hope you're enjoying this. Not to the fun stuff just yet, but learning the basics, and that's what's important, and able to get to the fun stuff. So like, subscribe, appreciate it. If you have any ideas on just every other video that you'd like to see, let me know. We have a good day. Peace.